man didn't land on the moon, but one of them has to be true. And once you establish what is true, it's true. Like it not, feelings are irrelevant, yeah? Okay. So
I'm not completely sure about that, but...
What do you mean?
Well...
Is there a third option?
I don't have a very strong opinion here. I'm just kind of examining it from, trying to be...
Let's make it easy. Man landed on the moon. Man didn't land on the moon. What's the third option?
Well, there is... Well, when you put it in that way, there is no third option because you're putting it... Yeah, but as a binary relation.
One of those has to be the truth.
Okay.
So this is what the absolute truth would be. Whether we know it or not is irrelevant. Just as we were unaware of whether Mount Everest was the highest mountain in the world before we discovered it. So we can never know for sure if man landed on the moon in 1969 or whatever it was. We can only believe testimony of people who claim man landed on the moon. We can only trust the TV when we saw man walking on the moon. But we don't know for sure whether that's true.
Okay.
And then you can look at the conspiracy theorists who say, well, wait a minute, why is there four shadows where there's only one sun? Why is it flapping when there's no wind on the moon? All these things. Right. But the point is, it's not the fact whether man landed on the moon or not, it's the fact that one of them has to be the absolute truth. Okay. So this brings us to where we are today.
Okay, yeah.
Do you believe this universe is a product of itself, or it had a creator?
Product of itself or had a creator? I am not too familiar with the arguments here or here, so I don't think...
What do you believe?
I believe like the terminology for creator is a bit
When I say creator, what do you think I'm saying?
Well, that there is some sort of prior cause before everything that was, the necessary condition for everything that exists. Yeah, I agree that there is some sort of necessary condition for all things to exist.
Do you believe there has to be a necessary being?
A necessary being? Well, I think the terminology with being, I think that's a bit misleading because...
Philosophically, what does being mean?
It means existence.
Right, so a necessary existence.
A necessary existence, but you stated that it created everything into existence.
No. I'm saying, forget the idea of a creator right now. But the existence of a necessary being, or a necessary existence for everything else to exist.
Okay, yeah, I think I agree with that I think I agree with that. Yeah, I think I would say I agree with that.
And this necessary being, what qualities must it possess?
What qualities must it
possess? If it's the cause of the universe, what qualities must it possess?
So, it needs to possess the quality of existing, first and foremost, and it needs the...
Well, we've already agreed it does exist, necessary.
Yeah, I'm just making it as clear as possible.
We don't need to, that's by default.
Okay, so, and it will need to have it would need to have the condition of creating. The ability to create. Yeah.
Again, default position, because it is the cause of creation, so we know it can do that. What other qualities must it possess?
What are the qualities
what about
that... Power?
Energy.
Well, if it is... What?
The ability. The ability to be more powerful than anything we can imagine. Would you agree with that?
To be more powerful than anything we can imagine?
Yeah. Don't start thinking about Thor, but yes. Do you know of anything that could cause a universe?
No, I don't. I do not.
Whatever causes a universe is more powerful than anything you know of, yeah?
As far as I know, no.
Alright. What about intelligence?
What about intelligence?
Do you believe that this cause requires intelligence, this necessary being?
Possesses intelligence.
If we manage to find intelligence in the world, then yes, it would have to have some sort of intelligibility. Or intelligence is inherent within it. That is, all the intelligence that we are seeing here is part of it,
What about a will?
A will, will, I'm not completely sure about will, because we have lots of things that are created without there being a will for their creation. For example, there are lots of created lots of created situations in which there has been no, well, foreseen will that has been involved.
Give me an example.
For example, if the wind blows this, whatever this is, stand down, if it blows it down and it breaks it, will the breaking of this stand be willed by something?
No,
It won't be willed by human will.
No, it would just be an effect of the cause.
An effect of the cause, right? So
the wind has no will. So the wind has no will.
right, as well, you could make the argument that it's acting under the will of God, but
No, but the wind itself inherently
has no will, right?
It's not choosing.
Right.
So when there's wind and this falls and breaks, that's a mechanistic action, effect.
Yeah.
Because it's only falling because the wind is blowing. Now, if you're saying that these effects are only the result of mechanisms, because it can't blow over unless the wind is blowing.
Yeah.
So what you're now saying is the effect of something must be the result of its cause. Yeah.
Okay.
So the cause should have always been creating this effect.
I do have.
If there's no will,
no, I want to ask something. I just don't feel very comfortable with this being uploaded on the internet.
Why not? Come on, you're a philosophy student, man. I don't know. I've never studied philosophy. I left school at 15, man. I know.
Nah,
you can bamboozle me with all your.
Well, I've come here to learn more than to kind of argue. Oh, different viewpoints. I mean, that's why I'm discussing it with you.
Do you think it's unreasonable to believe in God?
No, not at all. I believe in some sort of divine creation.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So do you?
And I do agree with the fitra that we have some inherent, the fitra. I think that's
isn't it?
yeah. I mean, I think there is an inherent believing in, some sort of divinity.
I apologise for treating you like an atheist.
No, yeah, I know. I bring on this facade. I'm not, practicing any religion specifically.
No. All right. So you believe there's a
build on that.
Yeah. So you believe there's a God?
Yes, I do believe in. God is quite a loaded term because each religion has a different conception
you
of
believe
God,
there's
right?
an intelligent, powerful being.
Well, I believe there is some sort of
Necessary being.
Necessary being that I need to believe in order to exist.
No. What you said. So you believe in a necessary being that is powerful and intelligent.
Well, I have people that would argue against this behind you, actually, and they have quite a loaded argument. They're welcome to join, actually. They were actually debating Ali Dawa here a few weeks ago. My friend Strabo here, he doesn't...
Strabo, come and join us.
Join us. And we've also got Felix.
But they're drinking though. Are you drinking yet? Or
No, this is all. I'm not drinking anymore because it's empty.
Because he's emptied it.
So that can't.
You see, I'm drinking it. He's emptied it.
Wait, what are we talking about?
We're talking about, is it unreasonable to believe in God?
No,
We like that.
but we're not talking in certainty. I'm talking probability. I think it's more probable not to believe in it.
How so?
Right.
So are we talking about a specific God?
We're
Talking
talking
about
about
the necessary being.
necessary being.
A necessary being? Okay, so can the necessary being be in the universe?
What do you think?
No? Why not?
Because the universe isn't necessary.
Why not?
Can we
Why is
define
God
a
necessary?
necessary?
Sorry?
Why is God necessary in the universe?
Okay, because the universe is made up of dependent things, yes? Just make sure everybody's right. So can things made up of dependent things be independent?
Well, surely God is made up of.
What?
The cause of the universe.
No. Can the universe itself be made up of dependent parts, be independent as a whole?
Wait, hang on. Surely God is made up of dependent parts.
It's not made up of parts.
He doesn't have to be there. So the entire universe existed at the Big Bang.
No.
Well, this is
Can the
definition.
universe, is the universe made up of independent parts?
It's made up.
You're the right guy for this conversation. Have you met these guys?
We've got Ali.
Have you got these guys?
Come join us, because this is becoming an interesting conversation.
You're going to love this conversation. This is
So we are just talking about little bit.
No.
If not, then you can
No, I want to
get involved.
No. These guys are saying it's more probable. Oh no, they're asking about why can't the necessary being be the universe. So I'm going to learn.
I mean, to be honest, it's not a absurd interrogation. It's not an unintelligent interrogation. In fact, Anthony Kenny makes the same point when he asks the same question about the universe. Why can't it be the universe? The classical argument that is made from contingency, especially in the Islamic tradition, has a subsidiary argument called the argument from composition. And so the argument really goes like this, which is that anything that is made up of parts or pieces, let's say, is contingent. That the universe is made up of pieces, therefore the universe is contingent. Now, if someone says, well, actually, that's something that can be only realized inductively, we would say this is not only the case, like you can not only just reason this inductively, but this can be understood mathematically as well. And I'll tell you how. For example, if someone were to say that a mathematical set is made up of its members. So any set with more than one member is dependent on those members in order to be a set. A set A, B, C is a set, right? So it's an expression of its members. So even if we were to express a set with more than one member, then we would have to resort to saying that without those members there wouldn't be a set. Likewise, in the universe, we would say the same thing can be used. Without the pieces that constitute the universe, you wouldn't have the universe.
So you're saying, like mathematics, these constituent parts can be merely conceptual, they don't have to be physical. So in that case, God is in fact made up of constituent attributes, which are conceptual. He's all loving, he's all powerful.
Stop.
Well, let me finish the point.
We're not Christians.
I know, but what do you believe God is composed of?
We don't believe he's all loving.
Okay, well that's quite clear from the Old Testament in both religions. But okay, but the point I'm making is that God is composed of constituent parts, so he's not a totally necessary entity because he depends on further attributes.
All right, it's a good interrogation. It's not, once again, it's not an unintellectual argument. It's interesting because this is the same interrogation that Richard Dawkins has. This is one of his only arguments, actually, on these matters. But Richard Dawkins had, and this is my response to you, I'm just giving it. Richard Dawkins had a debate with the ex-Archbishop of Canterbury and the University of Oxford. Not sure if you've watched that debate. And the person who was moderating that debate was actually Anthony Kenny. Once again, the same atheist, by the way, philosopher who made this interrogation that you're putting forward, which indicates that you have maybe read the literature or you're aware of the argument. But he himself considered to the following. Because Richard Dawkins said exactly what you're saying, which is that if God is complicated in the sense that it's made up of many different attributes, which is the normative Islamic belief, we believe that God is all knowing, all powerful, and so on. If that is the case, then wouldn't you require an explanation to put it in Leibnizian terms, which is going to push the problem backwards? You know, in terms of now you need an explanation for this complex agency which you're referring to. Anthony Kenny got involved into the discussion. He said something very interesting. As an atheist, it's even more powerful because obviously he doesn't have that fight. He said if you compare an electric razor with a cutthroat razor, an electric razor is made up of more parts and is less functional than a cutthroat razor. A cutthroat razor is made up of no parts, but it can do more than an electric razor. Richard Dawkins retorted and he said,
Can you give it to me? Oh yeah.
what do you mean by that? To which Anthony Kenny replied, he said that, well, the cutthroat razor can cut an apple, but it can also cut a throat. To which the Oxford University audience started laughing, and to which Richard Dawkins had no response. What I'm saying is, it's fallacious to equate a part or a piece with an attribute, because an attribute is a description of something. So we are describing the essence of God with adjectives. That's what an attribute is. Whereas a piece is something that can be taken out and put into something. If you want to put it in modal terms, the difference between necessity and impossibility is that necessity is that if something is taken out of existence, that existence wouldn't exist. It would lead to absurdity. Whereas with impossibility, it's the exact opposite. So in other words, this thing cannot be in any world, possible world, it cannot be in reality. Like a squared circle, for example. The point is, when you take something out of reality, which is a possible existence or a contingent existence, like the pieces of the universe, for example, me or you, we didn't exist at one point. Maybe yourself, like 25 years ago. I don't know when. How old are you?
20. It's my birthday today, actually. Yeah.
Whenever, you're a young man, strapping young man, nice suit yourself as well.
I like these badges. You look like some great military dictator with medals. Yeah. People want to hear you.
No doubt about it.
Don't want to hear you.
No. Let's stick with the argument. So the point I'm making to you is that contingent existence, if it's not in existence, it doesn't lead to any absurdity. Because 25 years ago, you weren't in existence. Meaning that didn't lead to absurdity, or it didn't lead to that the entire existence would not be in existence.
Yeah, because I'm not necessary.
Exactly.
I'm not necessary.
Sorry. Exactly.
But if you define a necessary being as something that doesn't depend on anything else, then I still don't see how you can define God in those terms if you include the wide attributes that are associated with him, because he is a composition of an all-powerful deity, an all-knowing deity.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on, and he's a constituent of all these different attributes.
All right. So what I've said before, when I differentiated to you between a part and an attribute, was that intelligible to you?
It was, but I feel like you're this retreating into a linguistic realm.
No. Okay.
I mean, I could replace.
So even if we give you that,
Right.
So there is a necessary being that started the universe.
Pardon?
There is a necessary being that started the universe.
Yeah.
Why does that
not
necessary being?
By the way, sorry. It doesn't have to be that he started the universe, by the way. But fine.
Okay, so
that the universe depends upon.
There is a necessary being which all contingent things depend upon for their existence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? What qualities can we attribute to that, other than that is necessary?
Right. So
Let him do it.
Other than it's necessary, what can we possibly
No, but
know
the
about
thing,
it?
right. No, you've already answered part of your own question. Why? Because necessity implies eternality. For example, in the field of mathematics, 2 + 2 = 4 is a necessary fact, such that you cannot readjust.
So it exists forever.
Yeah. So there you have it. So, but there you have two attributes. In fact, you have pre-eternality and post-eternality. Right? You can subdivide that into two different categories. And obviously, what we're saying, we're speaking in negative terms. So something which hasn't got a beginning or an end is pre-eternal or post-eternal. So we've already got two here. Necessity indicates that lack of dependent quality. So it doesn't need anything else, which in the Islamic parlance is referred to as a samadiyya, which is that everything depends upon it and it depends upon nothing else. But then if we go into that direction, then a lot of other attributes start to be clear. So for example, the fact that God is the maintainer of the universe, or that this necessary being is the maintainer of all that exists. It maintains it because without its existence, the universe would not exist. Therefore, it's...
Morality at any point?
Well, hang on. The great advantage that we have is we're merely arguing in terms of probability, and it seems like you're arguing it in the realms of certainty.
I haven't heard any argument you've made.
Well, all I'm saying is that there is a universe, and I don't claim to know how it was brought about. We can only see the laws of the universe. We can only see how we interact with those laws. And I think if we use Occam's razor, don't multiply entities beyond necessity. Don't say, there's a world, and at the centre of that world.
Why is it more probable?
Well, let me just finish. And let's take gravity, for example. Okay, there's obviously gravity, and we can explain that mathematically. But then you add some additional beast existing at the centre of the centre of the Earth that draws things into it, as well as gravity. There's no need for that beast. There's no need for it. So why include it in a theory that encapsulates and describes gravity perfectly. So that's what I'm saying about the universe. We've seen the universe. We've seen the universe. We know its laws. We can understand and describe them. We don't need to refer to any additional.
No. But what you've got to do, which you haven't done, explain to us how this universe came into existence.
Well, I mean, I'm saying I don't
No.
Stick with the reality. Stick with what he's just asked. A simple question on this is: why is there something rather than nothing?
That's the key. That's where it comes down to. And I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm trying to understand why you're claiming you do.
No. It didn't start that way, did it?
No, you're saying there was a
No. What you said.
You're saying that the existence of necessitates a necessary being. But
that's not what you said.
But the very idea that the universe begun.
No, let's deal with what you said. Don't change. Don't move the goalposts.
Hang on. Let me just.
Go on.
The universe is space and time, and you need objects in space, and you need cause and effect within time.
Let's start the conversation as it was.
What was the name again?
Yeah. Okay.
Just listen. You said it's more probable there isn't a God.
Yeah.
Right. So your probability, your mathematics, whatever you've done, whatever you've reasoned, you've come to a probable idea. It's more probable that this universe, as I've always existed, brought itself into existence, finely tuned itself, created carbon in stars by itself. No. Listen.
I am.
No.
I am.
I'm
not saying anything.
And then you believe that this carbon sometimes created this kind of magic custard, and then this magic custard became the first living cell on Earth, and then this first living cell kind of created information from nowhere and created new proteins and became new organisms and evolved into fish, and this fish became man, and then this man is what we are today, right? That's your claim. So I want to know why you believe that.
Okay, the only claim I'm making is that I don't.
That is your claim.
I'm saying I don't know.
No, you said it's more probable.
I'm saying it's more probable.
Why?
Yeah, that's right.
Because we only have the we can only.
Why is that?
I can only base this argument on what I can directly see. I can see